So I'm Sage Cole, and I am the Swedenborgian chaplain at Harvard, and I also serve as the pastor at Swedenborg Chapel, which is over on the corner of Quincy and Kirkland, right next to the design school. And we've been there since 1901 and part of the Harvard community for a long time. Well, I'm really excited to be at in the Harvard community now because my spiritual journey really began in my college years. I would say between the ages of 18 and 22, I was in a real deep existential crisis. It was a really hard time for me. I wasn't raised in any kind of a religious setting, and when I got to college, I really struggled with perfectionism and making decisions about my future. I had this fear that I would make the wrong choice and that I would end up down this wrong path. And while it should have been a feeling of openness and freedom that anything was possible, I really felt like it was this oppressive pressure to make choices, especially without kind of a spiritual foundation grounding me. So in that time, I was exposed to the Swedenborgian tradition, to some Swedenborgian community, and I started to delve into Swedenborg's writings more deeply. And the thing that really saved me at that time in my life was this idea of divine providence, that God was behind things, and that it wasn't a divine providence in terms of God ordaining every little detail of life, and certainly not a God who was ordaining the tragedies that we experience so much in our earthly walk, but that divine providence was kind of calling us always to the good and providing opportunities for us to reach out in the good. And one of the ways Swedenborg describes it is like the sun shining down on plant life, and the plants are always growing towards the sun. And sometimes they get twisted and move in the wrong direction, but in general, they're always facing the sun and the love and the goodness of God. And I was changed by that. It helped me take a deep breath and just trust where I was planted, and to trust that opportunities were going to come to me that were going to be okay to say yes to, and that I could trust my intuition, I could trust my passion and my love and follow that path. And it was a blessing, and I've kind of been following that path ever since. Some of the conversations I really enjoy having with students and with different people who come through our chapel and who I meet through the Swedenborgian chaplaincy are these questions of meaning, of kind of where am I being led, and how is God calling me into the future. And I think within our tradition, we just have this rich way of understanding the experiences of our life, and we really emphasize following our passion, following our love, that we each have a unique love and gifts to give to the world. And I think it can be hard to figure that out. It can be hard to figure out what we really do love and what gives us joy. And sometimes having someone to talk to about that can be really helpful. And I think there's lots of different ways we can get insights into that, whether it's our intuition, whether it's our dreams. Swedenborg had a very in-depth dream life. I've studied my dreams and done a lot of work individually and with groups, and sometimes we can get really good insights into where we're headed next from that part of our kind of connection to God and to the divine. Or then it's biblical study. So there's just so many ways to kind of connect with how God is calling us, and it's fun for me. I really enjoy having those one-on-one conversations or organizing groups of people to help to understand ourselves.